Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glory to Shri Prabhupada. Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva. And the reach. Okay. Can we double check positions? Yeah. Still okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Joitanam Manavistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sarpadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Gurutaparakamalam Shri Guru Upam Sahajatam Sahagana Raghunathavintam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Niveshesha Sunyavadi Pachatari Satarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Dinamine Shri Varshabhanu Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurjala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaurakamna Shakti Vigaya Namostute Namaste Gauravane Shrimate Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Prasidanta Vantaharine Namakora Kishoraya Satchavera Gyamuthaye Vipralambhara Sambhode Padamujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchit Anandanamine Gurashakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vibhava Bhumetsvam Nirdesha Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Jaganayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarvyacha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावरन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्वेशे नमः। पंचतत्त्वमकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्तक्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। यद्दैतं ब्रह्मपरिसरे तरत्यशतनुभः जानन्तर्यामि पुरुषैति यशञ्चो विभवो सरीश्वर्यपूर्णगयो भगवान् स्वयंमयं न चैतन्य कृष्ण जगति परतत्त्वं परमय। राधा कृष्ण प्रणवकृति लादिने सत्यस्मात् नेकर्णवति भुवि पुरा देयवेदं गतोऽहं चैतन्यकं प्रकटमरुणा तद्वयं चैकमप्तं राधा भावदूतसवरितं नौमि कृष्णस्वरूपं चिरारतं निजगुप्तवित्तं स्वप्रेमनामामृतमच्युतारो आपमं जो विततारो कृष्णजनव्यस्तमां गौरसचरितामृतामृतनिधि गौरं सदेवस्तुते गौरेण पतितं भास्वरजनं गौराय सर्वं ददे गौरादस्ति कृपलत्रो न परो गौरशवित्यो अभवं गौरे गौरवमाचरणे भगवन् गौरप्रभो रक्षमं माधुर्ये मधुवे सुगन्धिभजन स्वर्णाम्बुजानम्बनं करुणामृतनिर्झरैरुपसित सत्प्रेमहिमाचल भक्ताम्बुधुरधुरणे विजयने निष्कम्पसम्भावरे देवो नः कुलदैवतं विजयतं चैतन्य कृष्ण हरि आजानुलम्बितभुजो कनकावदातु संकीर्तने कपितलो कमलायताक्ष विश्वम्भरद्विजगरो जुगधर्मपाल वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतार अनातीतचरिचिरातं न यावतीर्न खलु समापयितुमुन्नतजलरसं शोभति श्रियं हरिपुरतः सुन्दरदुति कदम्ब संदीपिता सदा हृदयकन्दरि स्फुरतु वः सच्चिदानन्दनं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवनदाय स्वयं अवतारी अत्यन्तनुराग प्रेम कैवल्यदान शिखाय शरणगति भक्तिरन्वान दैन्य आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद प्रेम वाजनापि न चलितं यद्रास्यं स्वयं च नम्ने बपद्वरसिरवतति परिचक्रतं नौमि गौरं चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते जयतं सुरतपंगो मम मंगलमते गति मत्सर्वस्व परमो राधा मदन मोहन दिव्यवृन्दावनपद्मनाभा स्मरणदारिसिंहसनस्तु स्मराधाश्रववृन्ददेवो कृष्णविषयस्मरामि स्मरसरसरामेवं स्वागतस्थितं कश्चन सानाय गोपी गोपीनाथश्रीयस्तु नमः तप्तकंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्ववांसते प्रणमामि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सच्चिदानंद श्रीमन गौरंग चैतन्य महाप्रभु हरि महावरनाथा की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 जन्माद्यस्य यताम्बयरितरतच्चातिर्स्वर्गस्वरत्तेने ब्रह्महृदये अधिकवये मोजन्ति जासूरय तेजोवरुणिदां जता विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृष्य नम्नस्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। O my Lord Shri Krishna, Son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and distractions of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seeing the fire or land seeing the water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is Bhagavanti Jai. Hare Krishna, the Vaishnava, the devotees, thank you for your association for being with us for Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. And that's for the pleasure of Shri Guru and Gauranga and for our ultimate benefit. We're going to read from chapter 4, text number 10. Okay. Let's go through word meaning. Vita, freed from. Raga, attachment. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, and anger. Matmaya, fully in me. Mam, in me. Upasrita, being fully situated. Bhava, many. Jnana, of knowledge. Tapasa, by the penance. Putaha, being purified. Madbhavam, transcendental love for me. Agataha, attained. Vitaraga Bhaya Krudha, Mamaya Mamupasrita, Bahavo Jnana Tapasaha, Utamadbhavam Agata, Vitaraga Bhaya Krudha, Mamaya Mamupasrita, Bahavo Jnana Tapasa, Utamadbhavam Agata,
Vitoraga Vayo Krodha, Manmaya Mamupasrita, Bhava Jnana Tapasa, Utamadbhavam Agata, Vitaraga Vayo Krodha, Manmaya Mamupasrita, Bhava Jnana Tapasa, Utamadbhavam Agata. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. And thus, they all attain transcendental love for me. This can be repeated translation. Being freed from attachment,
Being free from attachment,
fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me,
being fully absorbed in me,
and taking refuge in me.
and taking refuge in me.
Many persons in the past
Many persons in the past
became purified by knowledge of me,
become purified by knowledge of me,
and thus they all attain transcendental love for me.
and thus they all attain transcendental love for me.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. I described above, it is very difficult for a person who is too materially affected to understand the personal nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Generally, people who are attached to the body conception of life are so absorbed in materialism that it is almost impossible for them to understand how the Supreme can be a person. Such materialists cannot even imagine that there is a transcendental body which is imperishable, full of knowledge and eternally blissful. In a materialistic concept, the body is perishable, full of ignorance and completely miserable. Therefore, people in general keep this same bodily idea in mind when they are informed of the personal form of the Lord. For such materialistic men, the form of the gigantic material manifestation is supreme. Consequently, they consider Supreme to be impersonal, and because they are too materially absorbed, the conception of retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. When they are informed that spiritual life is also individual and personal, they become afraid of becoming persons again. And so they naturally prefer a kind of merging into impersonal voids. Generally, they compare the living entities to the bubbles of the ocean which merge into the ocean. That is the high perfection of spiritual existence attainable without individual personality. This is a kind of fearful stage of life, devoid of perfect knowledge of spiritual existence. Furthermore, there are many persons who cannot understand spiritual existence at all, being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradictions of various types of philosophical speculation. They become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void. Such people are in a diseased condition of life. Some people are too materially attached and therefore do not give attention to spiritual life. Some of them want to merge into the supreme spiritual cause, and some of them disbelieve in everything, being angry at all sort of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness. This last class of men take to the shelter of some kind of intoxication, and the effective hallucinations are sometimes accepted as spiritual vision. One has to get rid of all three stages of attachment to the material world. Negligence of spiritual life, fear of spiritual personal identity, and conception of void that arises from frustration in life. To get free from these three stages of the material concept of life, one has to take complete shelter of the Lord, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the disciplines and regulative principles of devotional life. The last stage of the devotional life is called bhava, or transcendental love of Krishna. According to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:4-15 to 16, the science of devotional service. Ado Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Ta Bhajan Kriya Tato Natan Nivriti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchis Tatha Ata Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Gunjada Prema Gunjatati Prema Gunda Chati Sat Sadha Sadhakanam Ayam Prema Na Pradu Bhave Bhavat Prana. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually advanced. In the next stage, one becomes initiated by an elevated spiritual master, and under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. By execution of devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment, attains steadiness in self-realization, and acquires a taste for hearing about the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. This taste leads one further forward to attachment for Krishna consciousness, which is matured in bhava, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of God. Real love of God is called prema, the highest perfectional stage of life. In the prema stage, there is constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, by the slow progress of devotional service, under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, one can attain the highest stage, being freed from all material attachment, from the fearfulness of one's individual spiritual personality, and from the frustrations that result in void philosophy. Then one can ultimately attain to the abode of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation again. Being freed from attachment. That's okay, you don't need I just read myself. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So, Lord Krishna is our well-wishing friend, only well-wishing friend. Surinam Sarvabhutanam. We have no other friends. And Lord Krishna is everything. Baba going to say, Prabhu Ari Pichunai, to me Amara Matra Pita Bandhu Ai. My Lord, you are, nothing I can say is mine. And you are everything to me. Usually, one's life is surrounded by what? Father, mother, friend, and family. And your own family. But this is the essence of knowledge. That, my Lord, I have nothing. I have nothing. And you are everything to me. As I said, life means we're surrounded by as I said, father. One's life involves father, mother, friend, right? Brothers. And then, when you make your own family, you have many friends with you, co-workers, whatever type of friends. There are three types of friends in Sanskrit: Bandhu, Mitra, and Surit. So you surrender all this. Of course, Surit here, only Krishna. But you have Bandhu and Bandhu and Mitras. And then Dhara Sutta, Dhara means wife. And then you have children, daughters, and sons. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says they are all yours. So, in one's life, if you think about this statement, Krishna is everything. And who are you? You are servant. Bandhu Dhara Sutta Sutra, Tavada Suttas, Seito Sambandhyabe Amar Prayash. Bhaktivinoda said, my relationship with all this is because of you. You have put me in this situation. I'm only watchman in this relation. Say to somebody, Amar Prayas. This relationship is because of you. So, we have to realize these facts. So, this is spiritual life is about realization. Jnana and Vijnana. Jnana and Vijnana. So, it's not complicated, but also it's not easy. It's not complicated, but it's not easy. All we need in our life, the mercy of the Lord. And this mercy of the Lord is obtained by associating with Lord agents. That's what Prabhupada says, it quotes Srila Rupa Goswami. One spiritual life begins first, you have faith. Ado Shraddha. You have some faith. And this faith comes from, maybe from your previous karma. You might have performed some pious activity in the past. In this lifetime, you very easily you become attracted to Krishna consciousness. At least in the beginning, you have some faith, right? Yes. When you read Bhagavad Gita, you associate with devotees, and then you say, wow, that's amazing. It's real knowledge. And further, if you're very lucky enough, fortunate enough, you're serious enough, then that brings you to Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees. Right? Association with devotees. This association with devotees, Sadhu Sangha, is glorified in all Vedic knowledge. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who came to teach practically the process of devotional service by his own example. See, that's what we glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before reading Bhagavad Gita. I always repeat this, it's worth repeating. Bhagavad Gita is the word of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, 5,000 years ago. And to show last limit of mercy toward the conditioned soul who are covered by ignorance, Maya, in this material world. And this ignorance is very difficult. We said over and over, Krishna himself says, Duratiyaya. Devi Shakunamaya, Mama Maya, Duratiyaya. This material energy Krishna, also divine energy Krishna says, consisting of the three modes of nature, I'll tell you, it's very difficult. We are completely tied up. If you're tied up, your legs, your hands are tied up, how can you free yourself? You can't. You cannot free yourself. So duratiya instrument. But Krishna said, Mami vaye propadyante, mayamitam tarantite. The lasting proper sense of purpose, therefore one must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not complicated, this knowledge. When you're fortunate enough to analyze basically faith again. Adoshada, faith. If you read this sloka and then you put faith in it, you're liberated already. Prabhupada said in previous verses that once you believe in Krishna with faith, you are already liberated. In fact, the soul is already liberated. It's just a matter of reviving your consciousness, your love for Krishna, that's all. Jiva Goswami said that. When there's so many, in the scripture we see, we hear so many things about liberation, mukti. Even the great scholars, Mahaviri, they always about mukti. Jiva Goswami, what's mukti? The soul is already liberated. All the soul needs to do is just to remember its eternal, perfect, loving relationship with Krishna. That's it. At that moment, the soul now is well situated in the original position. Mukti is insignificant. And when you, again, you're well established in your eternal, perfect, loving relationship with Krishna, you don't need mukti. Mukti is comprising that. In fact, this Bilvamangal Thakur says, for a devotee of the Lord, pure devotee, mukti, liberation, is standing at the door of a bhakta, a pure devotee, begging, how can I serve you, sir? What can I do for you? So bhakti is far. Bhakti is a nitya tattva, eternal truth. Mukti is automatically included in bhakti. So adoshada, faith is the most important thing. Then you associate devotee like Prabhupada gives this quote from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This gradual development of devotion service, or gradual steps toward the ultimate goal of life is to develop Krishna prema. So the faith is the most important thing. Because the faith that we had before, it may be soft, called Komala Shraddha, soft faith. That's what I was saying in the class this morning, I think also, about the time. Many people, they come trying to take shelter of devotional service, and then after some time, they start finding some excuses. Oh, this or that institution, this and that, politics. Hallelujah. This or nothing. Your faith to Krishna must be unflinching. These things, so-called politics, so-called this and that, people may manipulate, that is nothing to do with your faith. But if we're not careful, if our faith is common, soft faith, then that's why we become actually, we become, attracted to other things. Krishna consciousness, let me go back to Christian now. I'm going to Christianity,
You know, I'm going to go to the church, this and that. That's okay, you're going to glorify God, but why are you living devotional service? That's the ultimate goal. Why you've been put in the college and then you want to go to primary school? It doesn't make sense. You college student, stay there. You already make progress. So why are you going back there? Oh, I don't want college. I want to go back to primary school. Yeah, this is nonsense. So that's why people, they come and then go, because they don't want to cultivate the faith. But if you're very serious, we appreciate the teaching of devotional service, devotional philosophy, then we must always seek the association of the devotees. Of course, sometimes, as a neophyte, we still have material vision. Like Papa said, this bodily attachment is very strong. You know, even somebody who actually begins proper devotional service, but it will take some time. Still, in the beginning, we still have material vision, bodily concept of life. We're fighting each other because I'm white, I'm black, I'm Indian, I'm African, all these things, you know. That's because we're still ignorant. We're still ignorant. So that ignorance doesn't go overnight. So if you're a very sincere person, you need to say, okay, I'm definitely ignorant. Shastra says, I'm not this body. Why am I attached to this body? Why I have to see other people in terms of their body? Something's wrong with me. I must get rid of this bodily concept of life. It's like Prabhupada said, called disease. It's disease condition. If you're in a disease condition, you must admit, yes, I'm a diseased person, right? Yeah. I'm a diseased person, and then you go to a qualified physician. He administrates you medicine. And he says, take this medicine for as long as he prescribes, take for 1 month or 2 months. You can't just go and take medicine for 1 week, say, oh, I'm not feeling better yet. And then, oh, this medicine doesn't work. No, you have to complete the course. Therefore, Rupa Goswami also says, Utsani Sadhaja, in this process of becoming purified, right? We have to perform our duties, authorized duties, obviously, because when you accept association with body, associate with the master, you're no longer independent, you know. You have to be given service to do. It's called Bhajana Kriya. So, way to do this, way to go through Bhajana Kriya, in devotional activities, way to perform our duties, our service with enthusiasm. We can be very enthusiastic. Time to do my service, okay, get up, you know, do this, do that, do it, you know. Yes, because you have a hope that I'm doing this because I'm getting purified. It's a good thing. It's just what somebody said, you're going to do this job and you're going to earn $1,000. What that person going to do? You're going to be very enthusiastic. Yeah? Ready to go for a job, you know? Because he has his purpose. So our purpose is to become purified and to get Krishna. And that's the highest perfection, ultimate perfection. So why can't you be enthusiastic? Understand me? You know you're gonna earn the highest perfection. So even though the Prabhupada says, even though our body is causing problems, whatever, so many disturbances are there, or should be determined. That's what Rupa Goswami said. You have to be enthusiastic and also patient. Patient. Then you'll be determined. Determination will be there. So enthusiasm and patience are the support of determination.
they support determination to go forward. So that is being serious. And Prabhupada said this Krishna consciousness is for the serious student. So then we said so many people here, out of ignorance, they believe in a impersonal feature of the Lord, you know. They find it very difficult to accept God as Supreme Person of Godhead, right? And also they have in fear, right? They're fearful to understand their identity. Prabhupada mentioned here. It's true. When we preach in the street, sometimes we meet people that say, "Oh, I don't care whether I'm spiritual, having spiritual body. I'm scared." They tell you like that. Yeah. I'm scared. What's going to happen after, and this and that. This all ignorance. This all ignorance. Ignorance. I believe in the void. I believe in impersonal. I don't believe in the personal feature of God, even myself. They're completely hush-push philosophies. They make no sense. This what? Because of ignorance. And then Prabhupada says, the only solution is that to break free from this ignorance, to become free, to free oneself from ignorance. You need association with devotees. You need association with devotees. That's why I'm saying in Shastra, Sadhu Sangha is being glorified to in very unlimited ways by the very popular statement by Mahaprabhu, Sadhu Sangha, Sava Shasha Koi, Lobhamatra Satsanga, Sava Siddhi Hoy. Association with devotees. Even a moment of association with the devotees of the Lord, you can achieve supreme perfections. It's not that at that moment you become perfect, but for that moment you can learn something who will change your life immediately. Definitely, your life will change. How we join Krishna consciousness? Some principle. Either we met devotees and they told us about devotional service, about Krishna consciousness. We're chanting Hare Krishna. As for myself, I just read a little thing from Prabhupada's word. And that shook me up. I didn't sleep all night. My heart completely changed. I was Christian, I was believing in Jesus Christ, for sure. But that stared me on Prabhupada. And he said much. He just explained about the karma. Up until then, I didn't really know what karma is. We want to explain, what the cause of suffering, ignorance, of karma. That really penetrated my heart. That's what it my beginning. I didn't look back anymore. So that's why a moment of association, and that's only I read the statement from Prabhupada. What you speak about meeting devotees directly. A moment, for me it was a moment too, just by reading that statement. I didn't read so much, just few sentences. So, that's why Sadhu Sangha is very, very important, highly glorified, in order to become free from ignorance. So I'm not going to just go into detail. Prabhupada already explains here nicely different types of people, how they are afraid, they believe in God. But the point is that because they are unfortunate up to that point, but they can be fortunate. You don't say that. Prabhupada even says, even the empiric philosophers, they can go on many, many lifetimes and then all speculation. But time will come, Krishna is so kind, they will understand that they will take shelter of Krishna and surrender to Krishna. So wherever you go, you can wander all over material universes for many, many births, a different creation, you come and go and come and go. Time will come when you are fortunate to understand that Krishna is everything. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Bahu Janmanamante, Bahu Janmanamante, Dhyananam Prapade, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samadhimastu. Krishna himself said about it. After many, many, many births, those so-called ignorant people, speculators, impersonalists, whatever, Krishna says, they may go on many, many births, but when the good fortune arises, they come to understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? He's a person, he's got a form, and transcendental form. He's not a void, he's not impersonal, and then you surrender unto him through the process of devotional service. Then Krishna says they become Mahatma, great soul. Some Mahatmas, and they're very rare. Very rare. The similar verse in Bhagavad Gita said, out of 1,000 million people, one may believe in Krishna. And after those people who actually believe in Krishna, one may practice Krishna's instructions and then make advancement. And out of those, a pure devotee of Krishna is very, very rare. Very, very rare. So, this is what we need to do. We need to associate devotees and accept, develop faith in the statement of Shastra and strengthen our faith. Like Jiva Goswami says, Shastra Shraddha. Only hearing and chanting. This will completely purify our consciousness. That's Mahaprabhu's teaching. Then we can actually realize, the truth. And we can make spiritual advancement, and we can develop the love of God. That's the ultimate perfection of one's work in this material world. To develop the love of God. So, I think we should start now. Grantarashma Bhagavad Gita ki. And the course of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. When we speak about surrender, like the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita is to surrender to Krishna. So Mahaprabhu came in this Kali Yuga, he asked us to surrender to Holy Name. Because why Krishna in this Kali Yuga is the form of Holy Name. Yes. So what does it mean to surrender to Holy Name? To always chant Holy Name. Of course, it's not easy in the beginning, offenses are there, but again, you must always do it in association of the devotees. Yes. There's no other way. We have to surrender to Holy Name. Everything, all the service we do is about glorifying Holy Name. That's why in our program here, I have thought of sticking to this program. Before we start class, we glorify Holy Name and Chaitanya. Because that's only truth, only reality to surrender to Harinam. Pura Pramanandi, Hari Go, Gopala Ki Jai. Tad Lashma Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai.